Hey guys, welcome to Brickstars. Today we're going to do part 2 of our Western recap. This is looking at the Native American sets, one of our favorite themes that LEGO's released. Starting off with a poster from that era, we have the chief overlooking his village, his people, lots of action going on. I love this little scene here of them running and holding the snake with the totem pole. We get a little preview of the detailed prints that we have in this wave. So a shield here, obviously the TPs scattered throughout, lots of action, great looking shot. This is funny too, they have this canoe that's just packed with shields. So awesome looking minifigures and great branding overall. The theme featured several sets. We're looking in detail at the 5 here, starting with the smallest, a couple mid-size sets, and 2 of the larger sets. And again, beautiful looking art piece here, such an epic looking chief.
Here we have the minifigures, the different minifigures that came with this set, or with these sets, and all of them feature really nice printed torso and leg pieces, which is awesome for that era. And you can see in detail the branding of the kind of LEGO style, as well as the detail that comes with all the headpieces. Now if we look at the chief, the teal that's on the torso and the legs, and this epic looking headpiece really looks great. The medicine man with the horns looks awesome, and it's like a different style. And then the other figures have sort of kind of matching but all different styles of torso and leg pieces, including then they have the headpiece with the feathers, really nice details. Now the faces are truly awesome. They went ahead and put eyes, so it's not just dots. They have eyes, they have noses, they have mouths with a little bit of wrinkles on the side, and face painting. So really nice and detailed minifigures. Again, for the late 90s, they didn't do this often, and they did it here.
Yeah, awesome printing, the little touches of gold here. I do like that there's similarity in the prints, but they gave us some variety. So I think we had a good amount of minifigures that were given to us in this theme. And they were accompanied with some special parts. So obviously the shields with the printing, the feather pieces. I just love the fact that we got printed horses. So a brown and a white horse with different colored printing. And again, you see that branding showing up all throughout. This headpiece was one of my favorites as a child. We got some arrows. This tree stump continues to be a very popular piece. It looks great even in modern day sets. Really stood the test of time. And the canoe piece also hasn't changed. LEGO's released new colors of the piece over time, but the reddish brown color here, this is where it started. The first set we're going to look at is 2845. This was a very small set, kind of like an impulse buy. Just a couple of pieces, really. You get the minifigure, you get a shield, the sword, cool scenes that you can create. I'm a big fan of these sets that they existed. I wish we still got stuff like this where you could easily get a cool minifigure and get some parts and have some fun. So, and very affordable too. We actually love this set that we made a modernization of it. So this was our attempt at recreating the simplicity of that set and mimicking that beautiful 90s box art. So we've got some behind the scenes looks here, and of course a nighttime scene as well. So the medicine man is always busy finding different herbs and trying to keep his people healthy, and a couple detail shots. So we loved how these photos turned out, how crisp he is. One thing we do often is we like to take new pieces mixed with old LEGO styles. So in this case, we have a new shield, which actually features a dual molded spear on top. And this headpiece is actually from the Lone Ranger series. So it's a much more detailed headpiece than the one we had in the 90s. But we tried to stay true to the original elements. And of course, we have a custom printed banner here that follows the LEGO branding. Next up, 2846. Very small set. I'm not a big fan of the canoe. I do like receiving the minifigure, but just kind of lazy in my opinion. They could have at least made the pieces brown, or actually included the canoe piece, but not much to say on this one.
Yeah, it has a nice figure. It has a little playability features, let's call it. For the 90s, you get this set, Christmas or something, and just use it, but it's not a really big or major set, I'd say.
Yeah. Next up, 6709. This is the Chief. So similar to how in the Western Cowboy series we got that battle pack with the US Cavalry, here we get the Chief alone. It probably would have been nice to include an extra figure too, but I think the printing on the horse makes up for it, and the printed shield. I loved this set as a kid. I carried it around everywhere. I had my Chief, the horse, and I'd go outside and play. It was really an awesome set to have. We look at the back here, and you can see even with just the figure and the horse, you can have some fun. He's caught a snake. He's kind of riding the horse here. He can put the saddle down. So great little set. And actually one of our first photos was of the Chief. So we're really happy how this one turned out. The lighting and everything, this was just a natural shot. We had another set in the background, and just something so pure and simple about this one. Here we have 6718, Rain Dance Ridge. This set featured about 60 pieces, and it is one of my favorite sets. What's interesting about this one is back in that day, Lego really used base plates, where nowadays they use plates as their kind of footing for the set. This is one that uses plates, so kind of ahead of its time. Of course, if it was modern day, it would have a lot more pieces, and we've got a preview later on of what we did. But in this set, you do get a parrot, eagle as well, and now we have a white version of the horse. So what a great way to get some cool pieces with the stump, a totem pole, 2 awesome minifigures, and look at the scenes that you can make. So he's caught a snake, he's running. Every tool had the ability to add these feathers on it. So, and you could add feathers into the hair. So lots of cool stuff you could do. Here he is kind of crossing the water, and even a set of this size gives us an alternative build.
Here we see the building technique from the instructions, and it's a nice shot because it's not an actual photograph, it's an animation, so you can kind of very clearly see the different details of this very simple but yet intricate set. You have kind of this rock outcropping with the snake coming out, the ladders, the little bit of water, and of course the tree stumps. So this really is a simple set, but it's still a detailed set to give you multiple areas to sort of play with. We like this one so much that we actually redid it. We made a mock or a modernization of it, and we did stay true to the original, but added a much more detailed style of elements and building techniques, as well as added a decent amount of pieces. Of course, the 90s sets were more simplistic, as well as they didn't have all these pieces available, and also they didn't usually include sizes like this. But we did it. We added this water bit, we added this totem pole and tree, so kind of stayed true to the original while really making sure that it is modernized version of it. And I really do love these sort of translucent or transparent blue pieces that we've used here for the water or the river, and the modernized horse as well as some of the other details.
Yeah, one of my favorite things that we did on this one is we transferred the print from the old horse onto a new molded horse. So that was a little tricky, but we're happy how it turned out. And again, we used some modern torsos and prints, and instead of the stump, we added the Lego tree suit piece. So happy how this one turned out. Next up, 6746. This is the Chief's teepee. It had about 120 parts. Here it says 131, includes a couple extras, but great set with our first look at the teepee, the fabric teepees, the beautiful teepees. And look at the minifigures there having a great time. The Chief's coming up. It's nestled at the edge of the lake. You can almost picture the village and how peaceful and tranquil it would be. and that they're getting ready to make some dinner, and the chief's happy to see everyone having a good time. And I can't say enough about the alternative builds. So this is one where not sure exactly what it is, but they give us a slightly different totem pole, and then they show us what else you can do with the TP pieces. Here, natives were typically known for being nomadic, so they would travel across the United States and what's today Canada. And here we see them carrying their tent and supplies, and maybe this guy's taking a break, or maybe he's been injured, but they're using the horse to get across. And I love this, that we see how the fabric piece can shine through, and if you put a light inside, you can kind of see the shadows inside.
Epic looking, really nice.
And this was one that also had these beautiful instructions, just to give you a feel for how the set looks when it's built. There was a little play feature here where if you turned the totem pole, it would open up and a snake would come out. So cool looking set, some player features, and that famous stump piece.
This is our photo shoot of a remake that we made of it, and we stayed true to the original. We left a good amount of the base plate exposed, just like they did. It kind of looks like sand or dirt, but we added new elements. We made a modernized version of the tree, the creek, the stump, the tree stump, and some of the animals that you'll see around the place. But we stayed true, and we really did love that old style fabric tent, the TP tent. We used the fabric. We really wish they remade this style today, because that is so nice.
So nice, and yeah, modern design techniques with more slope pieces to build this up. You can see here we have one of the new feathers that featured a bit of red, and for those of you who have a great attention to detail, you'll notice that Lego gave us a brown and white horse. Here we have our own design onto the black horse, so we actually printed stickers and have this horse in our collection now.
Here are some detailed shots of this scene as we laid it out. Here in this first one on the left, you could kind of see the horse in the background. You could get a good detail of that feather and of the side kind of fabric that's on the horse. And then the scene itself, there's some food going on there. In the middle picture, we have kind of a campfire scene. We included a infant. There's a little baby there with the mom and the chief. And you could also get a good look at that river, including the kind of cascading or falling water coming down off that river, or little bit of a waterfall, and some of the rapids at the base. On the very right hand side, you see the detailed tree piece that we really modernized and then made this totem pole and stayed true to the original while kind of keeping that style.
And next up is 6748. This is Boulder Cliff Canyon. One of the rarer sets, I think, of the bunch. It's typically known to be tough to find and pretty expensive, even though it only features about 220 parts. But lots of cool pieces. This was kind of a unique thing back then. You didn't see these pieces a whole lot. We get another TP with a slightly different print here and a pretty large totem pole. So cool set with the base plate and printed river, and you get both horses here. So if you've got the first couple sets we've gone through and now this one, suddenly you've got 5 or 6 horses in your village. Here we see the canoe as well, and a cool play feature here with this spinning log that could fall out. Of course, moving this leaf releases this boulder, and of course that's a danger hazard, but you see they have their ladders, there's rattlesnakes everywhere. So cool looking set.
Awesome looking set, really epic. And it goes to show for how these like 90s sets really had style, even with the limited amount of pieces that they did come with. And then here we have the back of the box, the beautiful box art, again showing some different style of builds, different build techniques. Here we have someone wading through the river, again the snakes, the teepee tent, and here we have a really big rock outcropping that they kind of showed some kind of epic scene, including a figure falling off the cliff. The little pictures on the top really show kind of action scenes. We got a canoe with overloaded, it seems, and then we have a really epic fire pit inside a tent. So they love to show these alternate builds, and really does inspire the imagination.
I love how they use that boulder piece to kind of make almost balcony here. And even this shot's so cool. They have like their eagles, kind of like scouts going out. You get both horses there, so awesome looking stuff. And this one also did feature an interior panel. So a lot of those boxes in the 90s actually had an open lid that you could open up. And this one gives you some more inspirational shots of what you could do with the set. So you see that boulder can open up and you could hide stuff in there. This guy's falling off. And here you can imagine what a scene inside this teepee. They're huddled together sharing stories around a fire. So I love these as a kid, and I still love them today. And you can see that box that I was talking about, how they used to package it up. It would highlight the special parts. So getting this as a kid, you didn't just open the box right away. You took some time to admire and appreciate all the details. And then when you got to building, this is what you'd end up with. You can see the digital rendering of this just looks great.
We then took pictures of this set and kind of added some graphic elements. We added some sand and kind of animated in water, make it like a rapid river. We do love this cliffside. We kind of stayed true to the original box art in this, and we really brought in call it real life elements into it. Now this isn't a mock. This is the actual set as it is, just with added real life elements that you may find.
Which is one of our favorite photographies to do, to take Lego and mix it with real life natural elements, or plastic trees, but non-Lego trees.
Making almost like a diorama of it.
And last but not least, 6766. This is the Rapid River Village. 300 or so parts, 7 minifigures. Truly looks like a village. So you get 2 teepees, you get 2 horses, you get the full cast, all the minifigures. You get a base plate with the river, lots of big pieces. I know generally people aren't fans of these, but it was an efficient and quick way to build up size and really have a great play set. So you could have a area here where he's on lookout. Here you've got an opening to a cave. You've got a log bridge, a totem pole, lots and lots of play features. As we'll see on the back of the box, all the things you could do with it, almost recreate a different type of village. The teepees open up. I like this. They're kind of carrying this guy above, outside of water on land in a canoe. And here they almost have like a fortress of sorts. But it just shows you could do a ton with these sets. So what's interesting is the original sets were released in 1997. In 2002, Lego did a re-release of the big Rapid River Village, this time under set number 6763. The set itself is exactly the same, but we just wanted to show that the box art had changed a bit, and now we have this kind of leather westerny look to it. I like both, but again, the set is the same and the photos are the same as well. Looking at the pieces that we get in this set, so when you think 90s, when you think 300 pieces, that is a big set. I know nowadays that seems like a medium-sized set, but this gives you an indication of kind of what parts were included. You can see that the theme had a lot of color consistency between the light grays, touches of brown. You got hints of blue, red, green to add some color, but look at the amount of feathers we get. Like, just beautiful to see all those minifigures, a couple bushes, the stumps. They definitely didn't cut corners, and then we get both flag teepees. I just love seeing this box shot, that how they came in the box, crisp and flat. So one of our favorite sets overall, just great looking set. Here is another action shot of it, and you can see what you can create with all these minifigures. So, and again, the box art, they always added some elements. I love how this picture frame almost crops the photo. And here's some minifigures that we've received since then as part of the collectible minifigure series. The reason we threw these in is because it gives us hope that one day maybe we'll see the Western sets make a return. Until then, we're happy with these collectibles because they add to our village, but we think the Western lineup was one of the best lineups Lego's released. They gave us great minifigures, great parts, beautiful sets, and they were great sets to play with as well. So we hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's a quick rundown of the Western Native American sets. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.